All right, lads. We just got back from watching Jurassic World Rebirth. One of the most iconic franchises of all time. We love it. We love dinosaurs. We love the CGI usually. It's absolutely amazing. But Gavin, I knew this movie was going to be terrible as soon as I saw the Snickers bar go into the vent and absolutely malfunction a whole entire science factory or whatever it was. I knew this movie was going to be bad as soon as I saw that. Me and you both were like, what are we doing? We both made a loud noise. We were like, what is going on right now? And as soon as that happened, I had no trust in this movie whatsoever. I'm going to let you kind of take the charge here, but I just had to get that in there for the intro because as soon as I saw him eat a Snickers bar, the Snickers bar go into this chamber, like this infected room where they were working on biological dinosaurs, and then go into a vent and was the reason why that the whole entire system malfunctioned and the door closed and was the cause of all of these dinosaurs to get released. I knew this movie was going to be awful.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to sum this up quickly with we sat near some of the loudest movie neighbors, and normally that really ticks me off. And before the Snickers bar, it was ticking me off because I was like, all right, this is about to be such an unpleasant movie experience. And we're already the kind of people that I want to be in the movie theater by myself so that way I can look at you and tell you whatever I want and make comments and do whatever throughout the whole movie. And the Snickers bar goes into that, and I literally thought about turning to the very, very loud neighbors that did in fact talk through the whole movie and kept shaking their popcorn and whatever and go, no, it's okay. Be louder. Please be louder. Oh my gosh, please be louder. Because it's so bad. You doing that's more entertaining than what's going on in here. Okay, so Jurassic Park. Let's go back to the beginning. We're going to start from the very first Jurassic Park film. Okay, this is 1993. The most impressive thing that you've seen on screen yet, as far as CGI goes, is Star Wars. And that's outer space, that's spaceships, that's aliens, but it's mostly makeup. It's not a lot of CGI, except for the spaceships and some things like that. And then Jurassic Park comes out, and you're shown this magical world of dinosaurs and wonder and terror. I mean, oh my gosh, the terror that T-Rex put audiences in was phenomenal. It was so good. I mean,
I couldn't watch Jurassic Park when I was a kid. I was so scared. I mean, it was unbelievable.
And to this day, I mean, I watched a lot of horror films. When that T-Rex is knocking the Jeep over, I mean, I'm not even going to get into the iconic scenes. We did this in the movie theater. There is iconic scene after iconic scene after iconic scene in the original trilogy. The theme music is iconic. It opens up to the world of dinosaurs and the music swells and you get goosebumps because you go, oh my gosh, dinosaurs. And it's all so cool and so well done, and everything is just magical and terrifying and exhilarating and thrilling. And then you've got your remake trilogy, Chris Pratt. I really love Chris Pratt as an actor. I mean, I think he's hilarious. He's very talented. He did a great job of coming in and making something that was traditionally kind of a thriller / horror dinosaur movie and putting an interesting new twist on it, but still making two really good and one kind of mediocre but still good enough movies in that series. And I went, okay, love that. The theme music's still there. The CGI for the dinosaurs, I'm still with it. I mean, when he was working with the raptors and he was teaching them, I was like, okay, that's mind-blowing, because the raptors are the things from the first trilogy that I was beyond terrified of. And here Chris Pratt is, and their family. I mean, Chris Pratt is family with the Raptors. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And the T-Rex versus the Mega T-Rex fight, one of the coolest fights between the dinosaurs in the series. One of my all-time favorites. And then you get here. And it's so
garbage.
It's so bad. I'm so sorry. This whole summer, I mean, all of our episodes are out now. We have nothing left in the bank. Everything that's coming out is out, okay? You guys have heard us say it 1,000 times, and you'll hear us say it 1,000 more for when we do our F1 review later this evening. Go to the theaters. Go. It's a great thing to do. Do not go see this movie.
Streaming.
Honestly, don't bother to see it streaming. It sucks, okay? It sucks. The characters are bad. I didn't care about a single character in this whole film. The plot is awful and full of holes. It is the single worst writing of any movie I've seen in the last 8 years. Not Jurassic Park movie, of any movie. Every time somebody went to go open their mouths to freaking say anything to anyone, I was like, why is this the stupidest thing I've ever heard anybody say in their entire lives? And they're talking about dead people, and I'm going like, I couldn't care less. I mean, Scarlett Johansson is sitting across from Ali talking about a partner that she lost on her last Spec Ops mission, and the dialogue is so bad that not only do I not care, I kind of just want the conversation to be over. I'm like, I'm move on. I'm done. I'm absolutely done.
I went to the bathroom and I was like, I usually, try to hold it in, try to keep, try to stay as long as I can. But I said, I'm going to the bathroom immediately, like a quarter into the movie. And I go, I'm not going to miss anything. I go down. Once I come back, I just whisper into your ear. I'm like, crappy character development that we don't care about. And you just nod your head and you go, yeah. And that was
my favorite moment of the whole movie. And I hate that.
You literally could go to the bathroom. We have a bar in our theater. You could go grab a drink, come back,
grab several,
and you would not miss a single thing. I mean, there's so many things that we're going to talk about how bad this movie was. But the reason why I bring up the Snickers, because my God, the mind-numbing marketing in this movie. I think we kind of forget about how, oh yeah, movies have to market like a BMW, a Mercedes, cool ways they do it in a Mission Impossible movie or a Bond movie. Those are sick because they just provide a little extra pizzazz to the movie. I mean, if I saw the amount of marketing that was so obvious, blatantly obvious on screen, that was so mind-numbing annoying, was ridiculous. The Snickers bar that goes into the vent pissed me off. Then the Altoid scene. Oh my goodness. The awkward, quiet, nobody is laughing, and the cringe I got from it was unbelievable. I wanted to punch someone. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Whoever is a creative person, whoever needed to put in a marketing for Altoids in this movie should never be put on a movie ever again. I mean, it was
and it came back up.
Whoever did that,
it came back up.
Yeah.
The Altoids came up again, 2 or 3 times in the movie. It was bad how many times the Altoids... Why are the Altoids a sub-character in this movie? Altoids? How much were they paying you? I need to know right now. How much did they pay you?
It was during the most beautiful part of the movie, too. The only part I will give it credit for, and if anything, it was the weirdest part. How did they make, one of the most iconic scenes in Jurassic 1, for example, is when they were at the mainlands of Jurassic Park, and they have probably one of the most beautiful shots in cinema history. And they try to recreate that, and they somehow make it not only the weirdest part of the movie, but they somehow mess up one of the most iconic scores of all time in cinema history. I mean, it was baffling. This movie annoyed me. The writing was so bad. And another, like, the characters were terrible. I didn't care about a single one. And I told you this after the theater. As soon as I saw certain side characters, I'm like, they're going to die. You already take out the tension. And if I'm such an easy person to scare. But when I already know who is going to die and who is going to stay alive, I'm not going to be scared. I already know you're setting up these scary moments and these most obvious deaths. It was one of the worst movies of the summer. I think it's going to be the worst just because it's literally one of the most iconic franchises ever. I mean, Jurassic Park has motivated so many people to get into cinema, to make movies, make movies with these big scale and use CGI. It was the first ever movie that they actually tested CGI. And for it to be this bad was horrendous. And to be honest with you, we'll probably talk about this right now. This movie, I mean, the fact that they used bio dinosaurs was horrendous. There's so many great dinosaurs that you could use and highlight and have fun with. And this is a creative person's dream. And to make this bio, genetic dinosaur movie, I mean, it was a horrendous decision.
It was. When you go to Jurassic Park movies, you look for the return of the things that made Jurassic Park movies awesome. So I mentioned the Raptors earlier with Chris Pratt. They showed up in the original trilogy. They're terrifying. I mean, from eating kids on the beach to, terrorizing people in the first movie to showing up again in the third as the most deadly creatures on the island to Chris Pratt training them. I mean, you follow them all the way through. We saw one raptor in this film. One. It was there for a couple of seconds as a prelude to a T-Rex that is the worst cameo of a T-Rex ever. And those are the only two normal dinosaurs we saw the entire film. Everything else was this weird bio-mutant nonsense, alien kind of garbage. And it all didn't fit. I didn't care about any of them. The weird final boss mutant one had little arms and it
was terrible.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
It didn't look good. It wasn't scary. They weren't motivating. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I mean, nothing about this was cool. And I got to see none of the stuff that I actually care about. I mean, the biggest moments with the dinosaurs, I saw every single one of them in the trailer, and they weren't that big. I mean, they were mostly benign, all things considered. And then even when you bring in, some expansion of stuff you see in the trailer, like the dynamic between the Spec Ops group that really shouldn't be there and the family that somehow accidentally gets stuck out there with the Spec Ops group, which is just the weirdest storyline in the whole movie and so unnecessary. Just accidentally shoving in these characters for extra plot lines that sucked, weren't consistent at all. Oh, and by the way, Dad on this boat maybe breaks his leg, but he goes back and forth from breaking his leg to not breaking his leg, to not being able to walk on it, to sprinting and swimming with it, to having it be broken again 6 different times in this movie. It's the most frustrating thing. And so you combine that with the fact that none of these characters that well, despite the fact that we spend 30 minutes with every single one of these characters at the beginning of the movie for basically no reason. And you get to the end of it, all these people die extremely predictable deaths that you don't care about. And you don't care. None of it matters. None of it matters. And the dinosaurs weren't cool. The moments weren't good. The score was exceptionally misused. The marketing was blatantly obvious and so terrible. And it's not only the weakest movie of the franchise, it's the weakest movie of the entire summer. And I'm saying that hearing that Megan 2 is basically just Terminator 2, but with a teenage girl. And like, that's got my hopes bottoming out low. Like, that's bad. And I'm still thinking that that's probably going to be a better score than what I plan on giving this one. And we don't have bad actors here. I mean, Jonathan Bailey, Scarlett Johansson, Ali, these are not little names. How is it you take a cast that's as talented as this and give them a script that's so bad, and moments that are so bad, and CGI that's so bad, and a story with so many holes and inconsistencies in it? And what are we doing? It makes no sense.
It's probably one of the biggest crimes I've ever seen in cinema. I mean, the family. I will never want to see that family in a movie ever again.
Unmotivated,
I mean,
whether they lived or died,
horrendous.
the entire movie. I don't care.
Every
The
time.
boyfriend sucked. The older sister sucked. The youngest of them was, I suppose, the most I'm indifferent about. But that's as best as I got. And the dad was just kind of a moron the entire time. He wasn't funny. He wasn't motivating. He wasn't anything. But like, the dad and the daughter were the most I was indifferent about. And they were clearly the ones that were supposed to try and like tug on your heartstrings. And I didn't care. I didn't care at all.
I didn't care about them at all. I mean, the boyfriend was supposed to be the comedic relief, and his jokes landed so flat. I mean, you could hear crickets outside. It was terrible. I mean, the weed joke, oh my God, that will live in my brain as one of the most awkward moments I've ever had in a movie theater.
The silence in that movie theater was deafening.
Oh my God.
Deafening.
It's so annoying to me because not only did they have all these characters, but they did the most ridiculous things too in the movie, to where we were both looking at each other. I get it. I understand it's a movie. You got to do some crazy things and, make, especially in a Jurassic Park movie. But the things that are happening are just so mind-numbingly stupid. I just turn away and I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. The raft scene with a T-Rex. I mean, these things, not only is it that we're talking about like the CGI, but these dinosaurs are slower than molasses. I mean, oh my goodness. I remember in Jurassic...
Not to mention, hold on 1 second. What is that raft made out of? Because either that T-Rex's teeth are duller than butter knives, or that raft is made out of whatever Wolverine is made out of. Okay, because that T-Rex chomped on that thing 24 times. And it just pops out of the other side of the ravine after, like, they hide behind some rocks. And the raft is in perfect condition. I mean, not teeth marks, not nothing. Perfect condition. And I'm going like, okay, so not only should the T-Rex have definitely eaten at least one of them, if not several of them, but the raft should be destroyed. Like, it should be utterly demolished. What are we doing?
It's another, I mean, it's one of the worst cameos for a it's the worst cameo, actually. What am I saying? It's the worst cameo from a T-Rex in the history of the franchise. I mean, it didn't even play a role in the movie. And the funniest part is, like you were talking about, that is the whole entire scene from the trailer. It's baffling to me. We have talked about trailers before, about how most of these have been good this year. This is the worst trailer. All you have to do is watch the trailer. That's a movie. That's a movie, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. You don't need to see anything else.
Quick side note, that before this movie started, we got the trailer for The Odyssey. Okay? That trailer lasted 30 seconds. It had 20 seconds of dialogue and 15 seconds of true VO. Okay? I am more hyped about anything that's going on in that movie than anything, and I do mean anything, that happened during this entire way, 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 way too long. 2-hour runtime for Jurassic World. 2 hours?
Thank God I drank a coffee. Thank God I drank a coffee.
Honestly,
I would have been
seriously.
asleep. I would have been asleep. It's like it doesn't make any sense. When I watched that Odyssey trailer, I was so hyped up. I turned to you. I'm like, we have to record a podcast on that. We have to talk about that. I was so excited. I almost left the theater to go record with Gavin. And I'm like emotional all of a sudden. I'm like, how the heck does a 30-second teaser trailer make me more emotional than a whole entire 2 hours and 35-minute Jurassic World movie? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's mind-numbing. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. You have one of the most historic franchises of all time, and you did absolutely nothing. You made it a joke almost. To be honest with you, everybody in this project deserves to be known that they killed this franchise. There's no chance. They're probably going to make like a TV show or something. They're probably going to make another movie. But this is going to make probably some money. They're probably going to be profitable just because they put Jurassic Park and Jurassic World to the name of it. But it doesn't deserve that whatsoever. They killed the franchise. It's over. This was the worst movie of the franchise. It's not even close. I hated every second of it. And the fact that I teared up almost watching the Odyssey, then watching a whole entire movie for 2.5 hours, I mean, it's mind-numbing, Gavin. It makes no sense to me. How do we have a group of people here, literally in a group that I would love to be a fly on the wall of those meetings. Oh yeah, we should make this creative decision. We should use this CGI. I think the CGI looks good on that. You know what? Let's use the greatest score in cinema history on this moment.
Well, and
ridiculous.
Let's talk about the characters for a second. I mean, we haven't even really dived into any of the characters. Zora, which is who Scarlett Johansson played. She is a special operative. She works outside the law is what her character is designed for, but she's done a lot of things and she's trying to get out of the business because she's lost some friends and she's getting, towards the end of her career. And she hears that they're going to this island, which they've specifically banned. It's super illegal and everybody that goes there dies. And then the super rich guy from the Uber pharmaceutical company goes, oh, we'll pay you $10 million. And she goes, oh, okay, well, never mind. Then I'll totally do it. It's not even a conversation, barely. He literally just says, oh, I've got lots of money. And all of a sudden, she's good. And I'm like, that's it? Okay, that's not great.
The third act of this movie made me want to throw up.
And
it made me want to throw up.
And he's painfully bad the whole time. And the scientist is trying to be good, but he's also not that good at being good. And the dad is trying to be a good father, but not a good father. The boyfriend's trying to be a good boyfriend, but everything about him is so crummy. And the dad's daughter is trying to be a good daughter, but she's clearly an intelligent person who's just picked an awful person for a boyfriend. And like every character in here has the worst motivation, the worst backstory, the worst character arcs and development, if any at all. Oh, and I'm sorry, but Duncan Kincaid, who's played by Ali, has this moment of, I've done so much getting people in and out, I help people survive, I do all this, and he has this moment at the end where you think he's sacrificed himself, where you think he's taking the bullet for them to escape, and you go, okay, finally, a heartfelt moment, and I kind of like him. Because he did a really good job with really awful dialogue at trying to portray the character as best he could. He was kind of that one little shining spot in the movie where you go, okay, almost worth it. And he takes this flare against the stupid mutant alien dinosaur that makes no sense.
Worst dinosaur of all time.
Of all time.
All time in this series. I mean, it was terrible.
Awful.
Terrible.
Leads him off into the wilderness. His flare goes out, and you think, okay, he's dead. And that's the first meaningful death of the movie. He's not the first death of the movie either. He's the fifth. But you think first meaningful death. First one I kind of care about because Scarlett Johansson's character, Zora, was really attached. The kids had gotten attached to him because he was their protector. He'd become something of an actual character that you could build something around. And then, not 30 seconds later of screen time, a quarter mile of away as they're driving off in this boat, a flare shoots up from a flare gun he never had. Bad plot point there. And another flare that he's got on his side shoots up and they go and collect him, that somehow mutant zombie alien crappy dinosaur doesn't see, even though it's super attracted to light. And they just go pick him up in the boat and they ride off into the sunset with dolphins next to the boat. And it's the stupidest thing ever, because you took the one thing, the one death, the one moment that actually meant something in this film, and you went, nah, never mind. We chickened out. You what? He's the one character who I would have cared if he died, and you took his only good moment of the movie and you threw it away so that way they could ride off into the sunset with these samples and ride next to dolphins on a shift boat.
It was comical. It was
so bad it was funny.
That ending was. I started bursting out laughing, and I think there were some people that applauded the movie. I wanted to go over there and just be like, what is wrong with you? Have you seen? Thank God. I was going to be like, oh, I have to watch every single Jurassic. I'm really hyped about this movie. But then I go into it, I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched the original or anything. I'm just going to go with a fresh mind. It's a reset of the franchise. Thank God I didn't. Because I would have been so mad in the theater, I would have walked out. To be honest with you, I was about to walk out. I saw an old man to my left. He walked out of the movie in the third act. He literally just got up and walked out.
Can't blame him.
Sorry for him.
Can't blame him. He wasted enough time already.
He must have been like 40. He saw Jurassic Park and he was like, that is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Changed a whole entire generation. To seeing this garbage on the screen, I mean, it was unbelievable. Third act makes me want to puke. I mean, that rich guy, I can't even name you all the characters. The rich guy,
Martin Krebs, so that way you have a name to work with. Awful.
Terrible. I mean, he was like the main driving force of like why they were there, and I just wanted to just not care about it at all. I mean, it was just it makes me so mad. I can barely even talk anymore about this movie.
And there's not even a moment of triumph. I mean, normally when the bad guy, the clear bad guy of the movie gets eaten in a Jurassic Park film and you think, oh, he got his. I mean, he got eaten and I was like, okay, cool. So I don't have to care about him anymore.
I said, thank God he's not on the screen anymore.
Right? Like, I don't have to hear his dialogue anymore. Finally, I can care about one less person in this movie. Like, and by the way, horror movies in general, but Jurassic Park movies especially, do a fantastic job of wait for it moments at the end of films. Cliffhangers, tension, something to keep me waiting for the next film. I have absolutely nothing waiting for me except dolphins and some crappy samples. Which, by the way, is like a horrible plot point too, because everything that they collected samples from is a mutant. And the thing that they were talking about at the beginning of the movie was needing samples from pure dinosaurs. And then they get to the freaking island and everything's a mutant. Like, it's the biggest plot point in the whole movie. Like, it's so stupid. It sucks. It sucks. I'm watching Jurassic Park 1 tonight just to get that movie out of my head because it was so bad. Like, I don't want to remember any of that movie. It was bad. Like, we literally walked out of the theater laughing at that movie. It's that bad.
I was so excited to go see F1 after watching that garbage because I knew it was going to be a good movie. I knew I was going to just be entertained. The difference between the theater for Jurassic and F1 needs to be studied, okay? It needs to be studied. You could grab a college student and be like, why are theaters going out of business? And be like, this is example A. And then this is an example B of just being like, this is how you keep people coming to the theater. I mean, it's insane to me that we got in an argument about, obviously, the live remakes and everything. But these restarts of franchises, they can work, but they also can be the death of the franchise. It's crazy to me that we saw one of the best franchise restarts probably ever in 28 years later. Everyone knows how I feel about that movie. I think it's one of the top 10 movies of my generation, of the 20th century. I mean, it's insane of how good that movie was. One of the best protagonists I've ever seen on the screen. And then I go to watch the Jurassic World rebirth of the franchise. I mean, it's insane. It's the worst franchise reboot of all time. I hope nobody goes to see it. I hope they lose money. I think, to be honest with you, the fact that Scarlett Johansson read the script and did that movie is insane to me. The fact that any of those actors got on the screen and portrayed a Jurassic Park movie on the screen, they ruined the franchise. Everybody in that project should be ashamed of themselves. I do not care. I hold no sympathy because you get the chance to literally work on one of the greatest franchises of all time and you produce this. It's ridiculous. Thank God I didn't go and watch the originals because I would have been so upset. I am the easiest person to scare, Gavin. I'm the easiest person to scare. And I was not scared a single time in this movie. That speaks volumes to how bad this movie was. I can barely even watch the original Jurassic Park movies because I get so scared because the tension builds up and I haven't seen them in a while and I've kind of been like putting it off because I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get scared. The horror genre is growing on me, but I was scared of dinosaurs growing up because of how great those films were. This is insulting to cinema. This is insulting to moviegoers. This is insulting to the theater. It shouldn't even make streaming. To be honest with you, you shouldn't even post it on digital to buy it. That's how bad this movie was. It will be the worst movie of the summer because of how highly loved the franchise is and how low of a bar they hit and how bad this movie was. It was terrible. Awful. Don't go see it.
Agreed. So with that, I think we're perfectly set up for our scores. And spoiler alert, in case you couldn't tell, it's going to be my lowest score of the summer. And I'm saying that without seeing anything else. I expect Megan to be sub 5, but this is going to get way below that. So Jurassic Park, you've officially earned yourself my first score beginning with a 1, and that is a 1.5. Bad.
Thank God you gave that score.
Everything. Bad everything. There are movies that you turn on when you just want to go to sleep and you just want noise on, and this is not that movie. I'll turn on something else. Thank you. I don't like it. I love the Jurassic Park movies, and this is awful. Awful on every front. And you had every opportunity to succeed, but this is not even a project you could come back and go, oh, well, we'll just release a director's cut and it'll be fine. You would have to start this movie over from scratch. It is that bad. 1.5. Brett?
I'm giving this a 0.5 because I'm giving it below 1. It doesn't even deserve that. Listen, I'm over-exaggerating my scores. I mean, I gave 28 years later a 11 out of 10, and rightfully so. If you watch the movie, you will understand why. I get so hyped. I'm the easiest person to please, to be honest with you. But when you disappoint me like this, with this iconic of a franchise, I mean, people literally got into the movie industry because of Jurassic Park and how good it was. This is insulting to the movies. It's a 0.5. It is terrible. Piping hot garbage. I hope The actors are ashamed. The directors are ashamed. I can't believe I spent 2.5 hours in the theater. If I didn't have a coffee, I would not have been able to make it. To be honest with you, I was thinking about how good F1 was going to be the whole entire time I was watching the movie, and I was laughing the whole entire time of how bad it was. It was comically bad. I mean, it was a 0.5 on the scale just because of how iconic the franchise is and how bad the movie was. It made the Chris Pratt movies. I'm not really that big of a fan of the Chris Pratt. Like, from 2 to 3 of that franchise, I'm not really a big fan of it. But man, it makes those movies look like a Picasso in the franchise compared to what this was.
It really does.
8.5.
And the originals are
8.5.
the true Picassos, but I mean, this movie really does make Chris Pratt's look like they're masterpieces. I mean, it's bad. But
it's terrible.
Don't worry, we're going to go
see
potentially the next lowest score of a continuation of a franchise that probably should have died after the first movie in Megan next week. I do imagine it will do better, but probably not terribly much. So stick around and find out our scores for that when we come around to it. And of course, check out our scores because it will be shortly followed by this absolute bombshell of a review by a much, much better review, F1. Stick around.